Good evening, race fans, and welcome to round 6 of the League Zero Premier Formula 3 iRacing League here at the Virtual Circuit Day Spa. As always, on behalf of Team Goon Squad Broadcasting, I'm James East, bringing the action 1080p, 60 frames a second, as we get ready for another exciting week. Now, last week we saw Russell DeSoto win the feature race, but he had a lot of hard luck in the sprint. Not able to bring home the win in the sprint, where we saw Raymond Aguilar pick up a win, and a lot of drivers having to retire early as they face substantial amounts of damage. Now the points are still shaking up. Soto still has a comfortable lead out front, but that's going to allow Brad Tritt, Antonio Bianchi, Raymond Aguilar to pick up a few much needed points and whittle away at the current points leader, Russell Soto. Team points still shaking up as well. You've got SV Grand Prix out front, Team Oversteer second, Track Limit Racing third, Mustard Seed Formula Racing fourth, FOH Racing has picked up some spots, while Chase Motorsports has dropped a position. So things still really shaking up here in all sorts of different points chases as we get ready to grid them up for tonight's feature event, where the top 10 drivers will score points for this one in the long format race, a maximum of 45 minutes. Let's check out tonight's grid. Up front, you've got Brandon Dwan in the number 96 machine. Russell Soto will be starting and second on the grid. Raymond Aguilar starting third. Brad Tritt, the number 26 driver, will be starting fourth. Varun Patel starting fifth. Ashton Schleiss starting sixth here tonight in the number 68 machine. Danilo starting seventh in the number 9 machine. Nick Peterson in the number 24 will be starting eighth. Brett Rettinger, he'll be starting 9th in the 44. Matthew Casey starting 10th in the 15. John Kasai starting 11th in the number 3. You've got Ryan Thibault starting 12th here today. Then we cycle further back in the grid. Alexander Russell, number 63 driver, starting 13th. Hunter Graves starting 14th. Jared Ziegler, the Oval Extraordinaire, starting 15th in the number 57 machine. Gareth McAllister, the number 25, starting 16. Antonio Bianchi, not having the qualifying he wanted here today, starting 17th in the number 17 machine. Derek Gutierrez starting 18th. John Clayton, the number 41, starting 19th. Justin Oberlo starting 20th. Michael Roslin starting 21st. Norman King starting 22nd. Levi Opitz starting 23rd. Marshall Newton starting 24th. And then you've got Simon Fellows, number 73 machine, starting 25th. Mr. Foster, the number 32 driver, starting 26th. And then Kenneth Hudak starting 27th. And Chase Small rounding out our 28-car grid. As we get ready to send them out, it is going to be a massive grid and a whole lot of fun. But let's see what happens here today at Spa as we get ready to send them out. And just like that, away they go, and we're getting the party started early here at Spa. Aguilar quickly moves to an outside pass, not quite able to make it happen. And this is the world-famous section of racetrack here at Spa. Are we going to get through nice and clean? We've seen some spectacular crashes here early this year for the Real Life Series. As Brandon Dwan doing everything in his power to hold off Raymond Aguilar out front. Keep an eye out on Russell Soto as well. He's going to try and make it 3 wide. See if he can make something happen on the Kimmel Straight before they go diving into the little bit of chicane of Combs. So far, so good. Everybody's doing a great job keeping it nice and clean out there. As well, we've got our first off track. It's going to be Nick Peterson, as well as Dwan. Dwan involved with that when he gets careened off the racetrack and cycled towards the very back. Our front runner, Jared Ziegler, also involved. That's going to be Russell Soto, your new race leader. And more carnage here. Raymond Aguilar goes for a wild ride. Able to get it pointed the right direction. Does not look too worse for wear, so he should get it pointed back out there. But things are already shaking up. That's allowing Russell Soto to get a little bit of a breakaway from Patel and Schleiss. Foster, he has his own moment as well further back in the field, but we have not made it even a lap. We've had a few fast drivers collected as we see Patel take a hard hit to the outside wall. and he gets absolutely obliterated. Patel, hard damage. I believe Russell and Bianchi might be involved in that as well. As these drivers, the Formula 3 drivers, the feeder class towards the Premier Formula 1 Series is never anything short of excitement, as we've seen drivers already having very rough nights involved with several incidents. And a lot of drivers just not having the night they wanted. Up front, it is Russell Soto, the number 50 driver, the odds-on favorite to win, the current points leader. We know when he can get that clean track, he's able to check out and maybe just put his head down and click off some very fast laps, as he has about a 3.3 second advantage over Ashton Schleiss in second, number 68 machine. Behind Schleiss, you've got a few newcomers. DaCosta, Sparapan, and Tritton, they're putting on a show back here. The number 9 and the number 26. Oh, and just like that, the number 9 gets spun around and he's going to drop back. I believe he's able to keep it off the wall, but I believe that was Tritton that got into him, the number 26 driver. Battle for third on screen right now. Brad Tritton, Matthew Casey, the number 26 and the number 15 driver, putting on quite a showing. It has been quite a night for a lot of these drivers. A lot of great guys already collected early on. We've got, I believe, 4 drivers in the pits: Brandon Dewan, John Kasai, Foster, Patel, Ziegler, all with extensive damage on their race machines, trying to get back out there. On board with Brad Tritton, currently 4th on track. He started 4th, he remains in 4th, as he is trying to put the pressure on Matthew Casey, currently just outside of that podium contention. As you can see, the Fanatec sponsored driver trying to put his head down and click off some laps, but Casey's just so fast heading out the straightaway, excuse me. Trying to get a big drive up the hill. Such an important section of racetrack, where if you do not get the drive out of the final corner, you can really find yourself struggling to make time up the hill into Kimmel Straight. As Ryan Thibault, he gets in the mix as well. The number 27 driver grabbing another position and working his way up towards the front. Now he's going to work on Matthew Casey to try and get in podium contention. Russell Soto seems to have checked it out a little bit. He's got about a 5-second advantage over Ashton Schleiss in second, and the number 68 machine. Matthew Casey currently, who the camera is focused on, the 3rd place overall driver. He's got about a 1-second gap over Ryan Thibault, but Thibault's been charging hard here today and trying to work his way back up. Going to be interested to see what is able to happen, who's going to be able to catch up here and maybe make something happen. So far, though, it seems once these guys are able to click off a few laps and maybe get spread out, They're able to focus on hot lapping and put down some very good fast lap times, but it's always those opening laps where tragedy seems to strike week in and week out. Now, thankfully, Circuit of Spa has a little bit more runoff than some of the other tracks, such as Long Beach, where we were at last week. So I'm not sure if that's going to be part of the part of what attributes to maybe some faster and cleaner laps. But we're scheduled for 18 laps or 45 minutes. Whoever comes first, I believe we should be able to comfortably click off all the laps here today. As Soto, your race leader, has just put down the fastest lap of the race, a 2-minute 12.43. Cycle further back in the field, we've got Raymond Aguilar, the number 83 machine. We saw him with that off track earlier. He currently finds himself in 8th place, just ahead of Antonio Bianchi and Dustin Oberlo, the number 42 driver. So Aguilar, again, he won the sprint race at Long Beach last week. Able to capitalize on some other drivers and getting involved in shenanigans all across the racetrack. So good to see Aguilar still out there charging hard, but a little bit of wear and tear on the number 83 machine as he is sent it careening through the gravel at least once so far here today early on in the race. He's trying to catch up to Peter Rettinger, about 0.9 seconds ahead of him. But still a lot of laps left to go. Not in too big of a rush to make any big moves early on. To finish first, you must first finish, and for a lot of these guys, the top 5 would be quite an accomplishment. And now just ahead of them, I believe that's going to be Trenton and Rettinger putting on a show. The battle for 6th place. Peterson, the number 24 machine, trying to fend off the 26 of Brad Tritton as we start lap 5 here at Spa. Such a world famous and fun racetrack. So much fun to drive, especially in these Formula 3 machines. It's a spec class, so everybody's on the same machinery and the same setups as well. That leaves it all down to the driver on who's able to get out fast. I believe we have Simon Fellows and Levi Opitz possibly involved in an incident. Opitz able to get into pit lane. Guys running very clean out front, not having too many issues now that the track's kind of opened up for them. 28 drivers started. I believe we still have about 21 on track as Opitz, Roslin, Dwayne, Patel, Kasai, Foster, Ziegler all in pit lane or have retired from tonight's race. Allowing Soto up front to run nice and clean, not having any issues, taking it easy. The number 50 machine, not having a hot lap too bad. Although we say that, he keeps getting faster and faster as his fastest lap was his most recent with a 2-minute 12.34. So Soto, one of those drivers that gets in a groove and then just sticks there, starts clicking it off. And he has been very consistent all season long, allowing him to be the current points leader in the number 50 machine. Soto's last time by was a 2-minute 12.48, so he's almost a full second faster than the field as he makes his way around the racetrack. Let's go a little bit further back to Peter Rettinger, who's trying to work hard on Brad Tritton, but they're about to be accompanied by Antonio Bianchi as well. While Raymond Aguilar, he's trying to get around Bianchi to see if he can work his way up to at least the top 5 here to maybe salvage some points. He looks to the outside of Bianchi. Now he goes inside. It looks like they're going to make it happen right ahead of him. There's also 2 wide action between Trenton and Rettinger. Aguilar charging his way up, currently back up to 8th. He's gotten around Antonio Bianchi, but now he's got Trenton and Rettinger right ahead of him. It looks like he's going to be able to get through Trenton, not having any issues. So now let's see if Aguilar is going to be able to catch up to Rettinger here. Aguilar with that early spin, able to really capitalize and get pointed in the right direction. He's got about 4 off tracks so far this race. Trying to extend those points limits, accompanied by getting bumped off a couple of times. On board with Aguilar, Brad Trenton has taken his 1 pit stop of the race, coming in a little bit early. Now this longer format, 45-minute feature, these drivers are going to have to pit at least once to make it all the way on the end. Now the sprint race is usually not the case. It's a 15-minute sprint race, which is arguably one of the most exciting things here for the Formula 3 League. 15 minutes. The top 10 drivers are inverted, and only the top 8 drivers score points. That can lead to a mad dash strategy to see who's going to be able to pick up a few more spots. That's going to be the faster guys from the feature towards the back. They have to work their way through traffic, and as we've seen every week here for the League Zero guys, those opening laps may really be exciting for all of our competitors. As Aguilar getting closer and closer to Rettinger in front of him, the number 83 stalking the number 44. As they make their way down the no-name straight, let's see what's going to happen. Who's going to be able to catch up here? Aguilar has been charging hard all night long, working his way back up towards the front after a huge incident early on. His current target is Peter Rettinger, the number 44 driver. As we get closer and closer to the halfway mark now, pretty much nobody here in the top 10 has taken their 1 pit stop yet. So you expect to do that around lap 9, if maybe lap 10, if they're going to be able to stretch it out further. And here we go. Here comes Aguilar working hard on Rettinger. He dives to the inside. Looks like he's going to make it stick. No, Rettinger's going to answer the inside line himself. They're going to go side by side. Rettinger still has the inside line. Aguilar's got to be careful here as he makes a move around the outside. Seems to have making it clean. This is going to be close between the 2 drivers. So now it is Aguilar who's worked his way up to 6th. With Rettinger getting shuffled back to 7. Now Ashton Schleiss has come into pit lane on lap 7. Excuse me, on lap 8, so he has come in a little bit earlier than the rest of the top 10 with his 1 pit stop of the night. Aguilar absolutely charging out there on track right now as he tries to chase down Nick Peterson. Now Peterson's going to have a lot of drivers to contend with. I believe a lot of guys are coming out of pit lane, or could just be possibly 1 lap down. doing a great job holding on to 4th place, but he's got to be mindful Aguilar is only about 1.5 seconds back, and he has been charging hard. Now the good news is for some of these drivers, especially that are just outside the top 5, while they are going to not be able to capitalize the points that they really want, they're still in a great position for the sprint race with that inverted grid to get propelled up towards the front for the start of the next race. And so Peterson really extending those track limits there. Meanwhile, up front, you've got Soto just clicked off another fastest lap of the race with a 1:12.10. Not having any issues so far up front, not having that much traffic to contend with, which is a good way to keep it nice and clean and try and stay pointing in the right direction. But Peterson knows he's got a lot of company. He's got as fast as Aguilar has been blitzing through the field. Now Peterson, he's still about 3.6 seconds back from 3rd place driver Ryan Cabal. But still, no one inside the top 10 has pitted yet. So that's going to be interesting to see when all these drivers initiate their cycle and decide to box. What a beautiful shot. A bunch of Formula 3 enthusiasts charging hard. As that is Antonio Bianchi right behind Peterson and Aguilar, trying to pick up another spot as well. And he does pick up the 6th place spot from Peter Redinger. Bianchi moving up in the number 17 machine, one step closer to the front. This is the battle for 4th on screen right now. It's Ryan Thibault, Nick Peterson, and Raymond Aguilar all getting closer and closer. The ball is still about 2.8 seconds ahead, but Peterson and Aguilar have found a bunch of speed and have started whittling away at the gap that the 3rd place number 27 driver currently has. That could be the pressure that Peterson is feeling from Aguilar, because Aguilar has put down the fastest lap of the race now with a 2-minute 11.84. So almost 4/10 faster than Soto has been able to do out front, hot lapping by himself. So we know Aguilar has the speed. He may not have enough time here in this feature race with it approaching the halfway mark to make it all the way back up to Soto, but it's going to be interesting to see maybe what happens in the sprint race later on this evening to see if he's going to be able to catch up, maybe capitalize on a better start. Right now, if Aguilar finishes 5th in the feature, that means he will start 5th in the sprint, while Soto, your current race leader, he would have to start 10th. That's what makes it so exciting to see what's going to come out of these drivers. Is getting a little bit faster every time he goes around. That was his fastest lap with a 2-minute 12.35. Maybe the pressure from Aguilar is helping, as now they're only about 2.4 seconds back from Ryan Thibault, the 3rd place driver. We may be able to see these two drivers work together and catch up to the race leaders, or at least to a podium contention, as Aguilar goes around the outside line of Peterson and takes over 4th place. Now we know Aguilar has the speed, but can he have enough laps? He's got about 8 laps left to try and catch up to Thibault. It is a 2-second disadvantage that the number 83 currently has to the 27. And it is rapidly dropping. Here comes Aguilar finding a whole lot of speed. Now it's 1.6 seconds. See what he's able to do here as they get ready to make some big charges forward into the final chicane. excuse me, that was 12 and 13 they just went through. Aguilar, a man on a mission. He's now 1.5 seconds behind a podium spot with Ryan Thibault just in front of him. It's still Soto out front, Casey second, Thibault third. But the story has got to be Aguilar, who had a rough night early on. As now he wicks his way through 18 to 19, the final chicane. Let's see what type of lap time Aguilar clicks off. Another fastest lap of the race, 2 minutes 11.57 seconds. Just getting faster and faster now. Soto up front, in his own credit, it's still a hot lap, and he's clicked off at 2 minutes 11.94 his last time by. So finding more and more speed himself out front, all by his lonesome. But are we going to see Aguilar have enough laps to try and catch up to Ryan Thibault? Thibault's last time by was a 2 minutes 13.18. So Aguilar absolutely a man on a mission here, charging up, and they still have not pitted yet either for the mandatory pit stop for this feature event. Seven laps left to go. Aguilar has the ball in his sights, and he's trying to do everything in his power to catch up and score a podium after a very rough start to the night. It is down to 9/10 of a second. Aguilar has been blazingly fast all night long, and he's looking good for a possible podium contention. Not the finish he necessarily wanted, as we know he had the pace early on in the night, but he's got to be pretty happy here to be able to get back up front and salvage an evening. Russell Soto, your race leader, has come into pit lane for his one pit stop of the night. Are we going to see Casey, Thibault, and Aguilar follow suit? We are not. Aguilar is going to opt to stay out. A very interesting move from the 83 driver. So Soto's making his way. Casey, Thibault, Peterson, Rettinger, Guthier, all in pit lane. Now that total pit time was about 37 seconds for Russell Soto. By the time he hit the first set of cones, to the time he returned back out on the racetrack. So Aguilar, once he pits, he should still be back further in the field. It's going to be interesting to see how this breaks down for the driver of the number 83. And if he's going to have the fuel save here at all, if he's left enough in reserve to still put down a fast lap. I'm not sure if this was strategy or if he possibly missed the box. It appears that he's still on pace, number 83, keeping his head down and clicking him off. So we can expect Aguilar to come in this time by, as Soto is about 6.2 seconds back behind the current race leader, number 83. But again, Aguilar, your race leader, has not pitted yet. Everyone else inside the top 10 has. So let's see, does Aguilar box this lap? Or does he try and gamble and stretch it out just a little bit further? He is gaining time over Russell Soto. Maybe with that empty gas tanker close to empty, he's able to click off just a little bit faster laps here. As he is going to box this lap. That's going to allow Soto to take over the race lead once more. Soto, your race leader, the dominant car so far here tonight is Spa, the number 50 machine. He's also got one of the fastest laps of the race. I believe the second fastest lap of the race, only behind Raymond Aguilar, who we just saw coming in pit lane. Now Aguilar in and out very, very quickly. He's going to rejoin on track in third place, fourth place. Ooh, this is going to be close to see. He's going to come out right behind Matthew Casey's number 15 machine. So are we going to see Aguilar able to put himself in podium contention? He just has one car to work on now. Matthew Casey, number 15 driver. At this point, he also has a possible second place. He's only about 4 seconds back from Ashton Schleiss, the number 68 driver. Aguilar able to cut through Matthew Casey's 4 seconds back from Ashton Schleiss. Are we going to see Casey try and respond here in the number 15 machine, or is he going to have to let Aguilar go? They've got about 2.5 seconds ahead of Ryan Thibault, the number 27 driver. All these race machines looking just a little bit battle worn, having a little bit of scuffed up paint jobs with the off-track adventures we've seen from some of the competitors. Lots of great racing all across the field here today. As we still have about 18 drivers on the lead lap. We started with 28, so a lot of drivers not having the night they really wanted here today, but able to get things pointed in the right direction. Everybody's out here trying to salvage some points and make something happen. And this is such a deeply talented field. Be able to get your personal best of a top 10 or a top 15, quite the accomplishment. Aguilar, he's about 3.5 seconds back from Ashton Schleiss. He's got to be happy he's put himself in podium position in a third place spot, exactly where he qualified, but he knows he has the pace to run up front. But unfortunately not enough time, as he's about 16.5 seconds back from Russell Soto, your race leader. Aguilar's next target, Ashton Schleiss, about 3.4 seconds ahead of him. The number 68 machine currently second, while Aguilar is third on track. Let's see if Aguilar's going to find any more time to try and catch up to Schleiss. Schleiss's best lap of the race was a 2 minute 12.68 compared to Aguilar's 2 minute 11.57. It is down to 3 seconds separates our two drivers. Aguilar is going to have the hot lap as if his life depends on it here to try and catch up to Schleiss in the closing laps here at Circuit de Spa for the League Zero Formula Series. Aguilar has been finding speed all race long, trying to whittle his way up closer to the second place driver, Ashton Schleiss, in the number 68 machine. Schleiss doing very well. He's up 4 positions so far here tonight. And he's still looking great for a podium in the few closing laps, though. He's got to wonder how hard is Raymond Aguilar, the number 83 machine, going to push here to try to whittle away at that 2.4 second gap. Schleiss is doing a great job so far, not having too many big issues, able to keep it pointing the right direction. Schleiss looking for his first podium of the season. He's gotten a 5th place at Long Beach during the sprint race and an 8th at Silverstone. But other than that, he normally finds himself with an average finish of around the 15th spot. So if the driver, Ashton Schleiss, is able to put on the podium here, he would be absolutely ecstatic. The laps are rapidly closing. Ashton Schleiss driving his heart out, trying to put on the box for the first time so far this year. This is number 68 machine. Another one of the Marshall Newton special paint schemes. Always some of the cleanest cars we see across pretty much every iRacing league we broadcast. Martial Arts always has some of the best looking schemes out there. Two seconds separates Ashton Schleiss in second and Raymond Aguilar in third. Only a couple of short laps left to go. Meanwhile, Russell Soto out front. He's got about a 14-second advantage over the second place driver. And Soto is really finding a groove here, clicking off 2-minute 11s very consistently the later part of this race. Raymond Aguilar seemed to have fallen off just a little bit. Now he's about 2.5 seconds back. He had it down to about a 2-second gap at one point. But I'm not sure if Schleiss is finding a little bit more speed here, if maybe Aguilar had a bit of a bobble in the closing laps. He can see Schleiss just ahead of him, trying to catch up as they wicket down the no-name straight. Schleiss driving his best performance so far of the season, looking for that podium. Only a couple of short laps separate him and glory, and a personal best for the League Zero Formula Series. This is going to be quite the storyline to watch. It's like a little bit further back in the field. This is the battle for 6th on track. Antonio Bianchi putting the pressure on Nick Peterson. Peterson, the number 24 machine. Bianchi in the 17. Ooh, look at that. Bianchi trying to use the slingshot to work his way around. I'm not sure if he's going to have the drive here or not. It is extremely important he sets himself up well for that long uphill section of road to try and be able to carry as much speed all the way down Kimmel Straight. Such an important series of corners to absolutely nail, to have the best drive possible. If you can get even a half-mile an hour over your opponent as you get up the hill. It is extremely beneficial. As here comes Antonio Bianchi as they go side by side. Bianchi has to pull out of it, not want to make an overly aggressive move against Peterson and the number 24 machine. Quite the battle on track right now between Bianchi and Peterson. Less than car lengths separate our two drivers, and not a lot of time left to go here. Are we going to see any final shakeups in the top 10, or is this where we're going to settle with Soto, Schleiss, Aguilar, Casey, Thibault, our top 5? Now Peterson and Bianchi, they're still about 2 seconds back from Ryan Thibault in 5th place in his number 27 machine. So I believe the top 5 may be just ever so slightly out of grasp for the two drivers. Currently on screen, Peterson and Bianchi. But racers are going to race, and they're charging hard. As the white flag comes out for Russell Soto as he clicks off the fastest lap of the race, tying with Raymond Aguilar, both dropping a 2-minute 11.57 second lap time. Are we going to see Bianchi make a final move as they cross the start-finish line with the white flag waving? And they do have other traffic to contend with as well, lap traffic, or lead lap traffic. That might be Ryan Thibault just ahead of them. It is. Ryan Thibault, he sees the pressure behind him as Nick Peterson and Antonio Bianchi are charging hard. And these two drivers working together, able to cut through the air just a little bit faster than Thibault, number 27 machine, kind of rolling around solo right now. As look at this, they're side by side once more. We've seen it play out the exact same way. Bianchi has the drive but not able to make anything of it as Nick Peterson holds the inside line. Not a whole lot of racetrack left to make any big moves here. As Russell Soto, your race leader, gets ready to come by the start-finish line for the final time. It's the battle for 6th on track, but it's going to be Russell Soto out front coming by for the final time here at Spa to take the checkered flag, winning the race, able to recuperate after a rough sprint race at Long Beach last week. So well done to see Soto back in form and getting back out front. We're going to cycle further back to Ashton Schleiss, who has a 1 second advantage over Raymond Aguilar. Schleiss bringing home his very first podium of the season, has to be ecstatic. The driver of the 68 put it up there for the very first time so far this season. Well done to Soto, Schleiss, Aguilar, your top 3 drivers, as you have Matthew Casey, Ryan Thibault, Nick Peterson, Antonio Bianchi, Peter Rettinger, Brad Tritton, and Derek Guthier making up our top 10. A lot of great drivers. Kind of had a rough night here tonight, but we're able to make it happen. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to roll in straight into tonight's sprint race, which is always very, very exciting. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we get ready to grid them up for tonight's sprint race. This is going to be quite the exciting evening, as again, it is an inverted grid for our top 10. Speaking of grid, it's going to be Derek Gutierrez starting on the very tippy top, the number 1 spot. Brad Tritton starting second here for the sprint. Peter Rettinger in the number 44 starting third. Antonio Bianchi, the number 17, will be starting fourth on track. Nick Peterson and the number 24 starting fifth. Ryan Thibault starting sixth. Matthew Casey, number 15, will be starting seventh. Raymond Aguilar, who's able to charge so hard early on in the feature race, is going to be starting eighth. And Ashton Schleiss, the newcomer, who's able to get his very first podium in the feature, he's going to be starting ninth, the number 68 machine. And then Russell Soto, your feature winner, able to put it on the top spot. He will be starting in 10th today, but let's get ready to send him out on track as we get ready to start our feature event. This is going to be quite the show here today, as we get all of our drivers gridded up and get ready to send them back out there. Waiting for the lights to go out. And away we go for the sprint race here for the Formula Zero League. It is going to be quite the exciting. We've already seen quite the brake lockups there. Ranger seems to be able to, oh no. Here we go again. It's Long Beach all over. As a lot of drivers absolutely collected there. We know Garrett Gutierrez was involved, having to take a quick tow to pit lane as they are still trying to get themselves sorted. I believe that's going to be Patel, Dwayne, McAllister, Opitz, Gutierrez, Foster, all involved. As it is a very short race here, only 9 laps, a max of 30 minutes. Now these drivers, it is the top 10 were inverted from the feature race, but only the top 8 will be scoring points. So if now was ever the time for guys to absolutely send it, it is now. As Rettinger out front charging hard. Where's Russell Soto, the previous race leader? He's all the way back in 11th place on track right now. He's behind Spirapan, and he's just ahead of Clayton. We've seen it before. This can put yourself in quite the risky position to try and get up front. We're watching Matthew Casey, number 15, a machine. He's trying to fend off Nick Peterson's 24, while Raymond Aguilar also trying to get up there early on and get a piece of it. Casey trying to make a move around Peterson. They're going side by side, but can they make it stick? It looks like they fall back out of it. Peterson's going to live to fight another day. But here comes Aguilar as well, number 83 machine, trying to make it a 3-car tango as they bob in and out of each other. Aguilar able to get around Matthew Casey. Casey has problems, maybe misses a shift here. And that's going to allow Aguilar to get clean and through. So Antonio Bianchi is also going to move up to 4th, getting around Matthew Casey. And what happened to Bianchi? Bianchi having problems. Falling back rapidly. And this complicates things. Sends it sliding around once more as he's heavily damaged and does grab a toe, so he'll be out of tonight's race. Now Nick Peterson, he's going to return the favor to Raymond Aguilar, putting the pressure on the number 83 driver. These guys are battling hard for these top 3 spots, trying to make something happen. Aguilar, he now has a race lead in his sights. He's trying to chase down Peter Rettinger, the number 44, the all-black race leader. While Peterson is in the white and red number 24 machine. Aguilar kind of in the maroon painted number 83. Aguilar getting closer and closer to Rettinger here. Are we going to see a move early on? Again, it is a very short format race. Not a lot of time for patience. There's no pit stops in this one either. Only the top 8 scoring any points. As Aguilar's really putting the pressure on Rettinger at this time. He's going to put his nose in the inside, show him a wheel. And it looks like he's going to make it through nice and clean at the final chicane. And Aguilar is going to lead him across the stripe. Only 6 laps left in today's sprint race. As we have a 3-car battle for the lead. It's Aguilar, Rettinger, Peterson all putting on a show. Peterson looking to see which driver is going to have a bit of a better run to see who he's going to follow, as he's going to dive into the inside of Rettinger and take over second place. Now what are we going to see here? Is Peterson going to put his head down and maybe try and catch Aguilar? Or is he going to find himself tied up with a battle with Rettinger? Don't forget about Matthew Casey and Chase Small running 4th and 5th. They're within striking distance with 6 laps left to try and upset the top 3 drivers here. As Matthew Casey getting closer and closer to this 3-car pack out front. Aguilar was last time by a 2-minute 13 flat compared to Peterson, who did a 2-minute 14.26. Now that could definitely be attributed to traffic that they're having out there today. As Peterson, he has a lot of pressure from Peter Rettinger. And Rettinger's also got his own pressure as well, with Matthew Casey working his way up into the mix for the top 3. Aguilar's has a bit of a room to breathe here. We know Aguilar can hot lap and click off some nice fast laps once he gets that clean air. So it's nice to see the number 83 of Aguilar able to really stretch his legs and show what can be done out there. We're going to cycle further back out into the field. As you've got Russell Soto, he's right behind the new podium contender, Aston Schleiss. Schleiss finds himself in 7th, Soto in 8th. Look at this, right as we say that, looks like Soto's making a move around the outside line, catching it in the draft. I believe it's going to be Ryan DeVault right ahead of him, and able to edge out Schleiss's number 68 machine. So Soto starting to make some moves, but with 5 laps left. We're about halfway through the race here for the sprint race. Not sure if he's got enough time to really capitalize and make anything happen. Just trying to salvage some points at this time, because now Aguilar's looking to be in a great position to keep whittling away at the points lead that Soto has in the points championship. The ball has a bit of a bobble there, goes off track. That may allow Soto to catch up and capitalize. It does as Soto dives to the inside of the ball, able to get through nice and clear, picking up another spot the easy way. So now Soto, who started off 10th in this race, has worked his way back up to 6th. Aguilar still out front, clicking off the fastest lap of the race, a 2-minute 12.54. As wide as this track is compared to Long Beach where we were at last week, it is still tough to make passes when you're hitting speeds of excess of 160 miles per hour on these Formula 3 machines. The ball absolutely battling here on one of the most exciting sections of racetrack as they go side by side down Kimmel Straight. Looks like Schleiss is going to have the drive here and he's going to hold the inside line, not allowing the ball to pick up another position. So Schleiss still charging hard, starting to come into his own here. About 1 second behind Soto now. He does have a very unique opportunity to watch one of the faster guys in the series, see what lines that Soto is taking, and see if he can pick up some speed by watching what the experienced driver of the number 50 machine is able to do. Soto is about 1.2 seconds ahead of Schleiss right now and trying to work his way up to Chase Small to secure a top 5. Small currently holds about a 0.7 of a second advantage over Soto. That will be the battle for 5th that is soon to be shaken up as the laps are very quickly clicking off. It is still Aguilar out front, Peterson 2nd, Casey 3rd, Rentinger 4th, Small 5th. We're all watching Soto right now to see what he's been able to capitalize. Again, with these inverted grids, it can really shake things up for both the drivers and a points standings point of view. But it's always interesting to see which the driver is able to cut through, back out through traffic as quickly as possible and try and secure a few more points. As Ashton Schleiss and I believe the ball get into each other and they both go off track. Looks like they're able to get it back out, pointing the right direction without too many issues. But look at this, here comes Soto, really putting the pressure on Chase Small's number 5 machine. Looking for an opening to stick the nose number 50 machine in and try and make something happen. These slingshots around the outside, now the inside. Now we've got quite the race shaping up all over the track. Now Soto may have not quite had the speed he wanted there at the straightaway, but he does have the inside line, which has been so important through corners 5 and 6 here today. A brief straightaway out of 7, and then into the hard right-hander of turn 8. A few very important sections of racetrack here of able to hold the fastest time possible and carry as much corner speed through this section of racetrack as possible to make up really a few extra miles an hour. Carries a long way down some of the straightaways here at Spa. We've seen it through Rogue and we've seen it through the Kimmel Straight, but you also got to think about the No Name Straight as well as the long section of racetrack between 15, 16, 17 before you go into the final chicane of 19 and 18, 18 and 19 I should say. It's one of those tracks where a little bit of patience in one section of raceway can really help you out for the remainder of the track. As Soto looking for another top 5, possibly a podium contention, as now he sees Peter Redinger in 4th place, only 0.6, 0.7 of a second ahead of him. But just 2 laps to try and make something happen. It's still Aguilar out front, Peterson 2nd, Casey 3rd. Rettinger fourth, and then you have to go all the way back to fifth. DeSoto, your feature race winner, trying to capitalize after that inverted grid restart to see if he can catch up to possibly Rettinger and Casey. With only 2 laps left to go, it's going to be quite the show, and let's see what Soto can do. Soto not quite within the striking distance that he wants to be. He's about a half-second back, but Casey and Rettinger are staying glued nose to tail. Is Soto going to be able to catch that draft and catch up to the 3rd and 4th place drivers? He may be able to, because now they're battling for position as well. Casey and Rettinger both battling for that 3rd place spot. All these guys looking for a podium, but that's going to allow Soto to catch up to the back of Peter Rettinger. And now it is a 3-car battle for 3rd. It is Casey, Rettinger, Soto. All single file trying to see where they're going to make a move at here. As it looks like Soto's got quite a drive over Rettinger right now. I'm not sure if we're going to see a pass here or not to try and set him up. He is. He's going to go for it. Soto works his way up into 4th. Rettinger's trying not to let it go unanswered as they are bobbing and weaving all across the racetrack, trying to find a spot to make it stick. Now Soto's going to try and catch up to Matthew Casey, the number 15 driver, who is in a 3rd place. Now Soto, you're a feature race winner. If he's in a position to try and catch up and secure a win and then a 3rd, that will be huge for his points here today, extending the points lead that he has on the rest of his competition. Rettinger not wanting to let it go unanswered, is trying to put the pressure on Soto as well. Soto just wants to keep his nose clean and try and catch up to Matthew Casey's number 15 to try and secure a podium. A win and a podium in the same night would be absolutely huge for the number 50 machine. Four-tenths of a second is separating Soto from a possible podium contention as he gets quite the drive on Casey here. We're expecting to see a slingshot move down Kimmel Straight. He goes to the outside line. I'm not sure if he's going to have the speed to get all the way around Casey. That inside line has been very easy to defend. And he absolutely sends it. Soto makes it happen here. Through 5 and 6, he's going to get through nice and clean. Man, oh man, what a move by Soto. So that's going to put him back in podium contention. As now it is going to be Matthew Casey and Peter Rettinger battling for that 4th place spot. See if they can catch back up to Soto before he checks off. As Casey got very dangerously close to that outside wall here. There's been some great racing from front to back. Everybody doing a fantastic job. Rettinger trying to catch up to Matthew Casey while Casey is trying to catch up to Soto. 9/10 of a second separates Casey from a podium finish as Soto has been very, very fast all night long. Look at that. Raymond Aguilar, your race leader, puts down the fastest lap of the race with a 2-minute 11.76. Getting faster as the white flag flies here at Spa. Raymond Aguilar out front and in charge, number 83 machine, making it look easy here for the sprint race. He did not have the luck he needed in the feature, but he's able to capitalize on a whole lot of clean track here today. Clicking it off, not having any worries out front. And he's got about a 3.5 second advantage over Nick Peterson in second, and about a 6.8 second advantage over the feature race winner, Russell Soto. Aguilar clicking it off in no pressure now, able to secure comfortably his first win. Right now it is his race to lose. If he makes any mistakes here in the final sections of Raceway here at Circuit Day Spa, as he gets ready to pick up a win for the sprint race, he's got to be ecstatic underneath the helmet right now, the number 83 machine. With a fantastic performance. We knew he had the speed in the feature race, but just did not have the luck getting punted off track early on. But the checkered flag is going to fly for Raymond Aguilar, able to bring it home here at Circuit Day Spa with a well-deserved win. And an absolutely fantastic finish as he wiggles his way across the line. So it's going to be Raymond Aguilar, Nick Peterson, and Russell Soto, your top three drivers. And a great race here tonight as they stop and give a celebratory wave to each other. Friends all out there on track having a lot of fun. And it's going to be Aguilar that burns it down here for the sprint race for the the League Zero Formula Series. On behalf of Team Goon Squad Broadcasting as well as LeagueZero.net, I'm James East in the booth, having another great and successful race here at Circuit Day Spa. As don't worry, we'll be back same time, same place next week for more wheel-to-wheel Formula 3 action. Have a great night, everyone.